This conference will now be recorded.
All right, guys, today is Wednesday, April 24th, and as always, everything that we're going to be talking about today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. All right, so let's talk about MTP. So far this morning coming in, we are getting some decent buying there. We can see our volume is pretty good, coming up towards that 3 level. Now, I really just, as always, with these cheaper stocks, I would like to see a little bit more buying than we have. Now, this position right here really loved it at 260, but remember we talked about in yesterday's Traders Exchange. All right, we have to understand that that position does not have to make $2 in order, for the stock to move up. On these cheaper stocks, 25 cents is a lot. So keep that in mind as we're going into the morning. But you can see right here, 290 still getting some nice new buying bursts that are coming back up there. So after this little pullback, all we need is really a trigger for us to be able to break past that 3. As always, I really would like to see a bigger burst with something like this. But we'll continue to monitor as we come closer to that open. Next thing looking at is OXY. So now OXY, I really love the way that it's trading right now. And the reason being is because smooth stocks take away a higher percentage chance of being shaken out from your entries. And if you look, this thing, it really doesn't get much smoother than this. All right. But I really would, once again, as always, like the volume be a little bit higher. But you know what? It's really not that bad at all. You can see coming up to that 59 level, we did have some good buying. Then 59.50, we had selling but buying with coming in right afterwards. So we know that there's going to be selling, and it's a pretty substantial amount of selling that did come back over there. But we do definitely have that new buying that's coming back in. Certainly looks like a actual buying and not covering. And the reason that I say that is if we go back and you actually look, now it took a really big hit, but overall on that hit, more than likely this person right here, if they were covering, they would have been covering a lot lower than that. They wouldn't have waited for it to come all the way back up in here. And that's why I look at that as buying. So I'm going to be following those prints. I'm coming into the morning. Would like a better show of hand, but it's not terrible. Next one looking at is T. Now, Pritesh said it this morning. Now, 31 is a bit mixed. If you come over here, you could see, based off the selling and buying, we're going to need to see something better. This, T is not an easy stock to be able to read the prints very clearly. So you really have to wait for it to kind of give you that perfect show of hand coming back in there. And then obviously the technical analysis side of things certainly plays a very big part on a stock that has that many prints there. So we can see a little bit of covering coming in at that 31. But overall, there did get some new selling, right as we were coming back down underneath this print line. So like I said, just a little bit too mixed right now. More than likely, just on the technical analysis side, we're going to end up seeing this this double bottom be tested just because it's going to kind of act as that magnet. And overall, like I said, just going to be looking for a little bit cleaner of a show of hand in there. All right, and then we have, actually, that's all I have on my list. I had another one, which we'll go over in a second, but not really that big of a fan. Let's take a look at our scanners. Let's see what we got going on. So YRIV, I'm starting to get a little bit of volume coming in there. I am going to put it on our side list. Unfortunately, it is not really that great of a trading stock, but just based off the fact of getting that volume, I'm kind of coming in out of nowhere. Just want to keep an eye on it, but definitely doesn't have as much buying around that 120 as I would like to see. Just for it's very, very cheap. Want to see some bigger prints coming back out there for us to really do anything with it. Excuse me. So MTP, another one. This is the one that was we already spoke about. Before we have DSS 161,000. Now it did make some type of just jump up move, but just not really any type of volume. Nothing that I really want to not that I'll be paying attention to coming into the morning. 7 million shares in APC. It looks like a buyout, to be completely honest. It actually doesn't really look like a buyout, but it's just a very odd looking trading stock this morning. As you can see, I can't really get too much going over there. We did have some buying that came in at that 71.50 level and a little bit above there as well. I am going to keep an eye on it, but there's just something about it that looks like we're going to end up not really getting any type of trade in it, and it's just going to go completely towards that side. So I'm going to put it on our list, but it's definitely towards the bottom of our list, APC. All right, moving along, we have RBZ, 514,000 shares. As soon as it pulls up. All right, not terrible, but at the same time, again, if we come back down and if it lets me go there, you can see the prints that came in underneath. We really didn't get much at that 6 level at all. So I'm not a big fan of that whatsoever, especially with such a cheap stock as we're coming back into there. Most of it is right here where we could see those below the bid prints that came back in right at 8 o'clock, which we normally, we see all the time now. But you want to look at to the low side, so 540, and then on sort of that high side of 587. So we're going to be pretty much bullish above, bearish below, but it's going to need to see something better because there's just not enough buying in this stock at all. You can see 6. Right here, we have 2 prints. That's just not, that does not count as controlling prints on a regular stock, and especially on a cheaper stock, there's no way in hell that that's going to do it. So need new buying for us to really be able to do anything with it. That's why it's going to be going on our side list. RBZ. All right, moving along, we have PCG. Now, PCG was a very odd stock coming into this morning. You could see just jumping up on something, and then obviously they, kind of figured out that there's no reason for it. It went right back down to where it was, and now it's just completely consolidated within its trading, doing absolutely nothing. So I don't really see anything there. I am an eye on it, but there's just better stuff for us to be looking at. And then moving over to the loser side of things, how we do not really have too much. I don't know what's going on with TradeStation this morning. Any day now. Okay. All right, so Oxy we've already spoken about. We have SVRA. Oh, and now we just have a new one. Okay, and then there's not really much on that losers list whatsoever. All right, so Qualcomm. Qualcomm we spoke about yesterday. The story has not changed whatsoever. Okay, we know that, it kind of pushed up. I don't know what is going on with TradeStation today, but this is not going to do it. So after I'm done here, I am going to restart my computer. But Qualcomm, same deal. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's still sitting exactly where it was yesterday when it came to that close, but we have too many prints at 85 for this thing not to be pulling back. So until it pulls back, not going to be doing anything in it. Also, Apple. Okay, Apple is another one where yesterday's personality of the entire day, pretty much all the stocks out there did not want to pull back. So these 2 ones, I'm going to be looking for the short side of things. Now, keep in mind, it's going against the prints. The prints are buying, but the amount that came in show us that it was a longer term and they're going to want to build a bigger position. So Apple and Qualcomm, I am going to be looking for a trigger down to short them, both Apple to 205 and then obviously Qualcomm to 85. IRBT, anything worth noting? Let's see. No. Not really anything going on. Nice position right here. I mean, you can see 113.10, but that was from yesterday in the pre-market, and then also the pre-market, the aftermarket, and then nice selling here at 110. That happened at 5:30, which aftermarket as well. But other than that, this morning, just not really anything going on there at all. Any opinions on Baba Rich that has made a massive buying at 188? Yes, absolutely, a pullback. It's all from all those prints yesterday. You got to figure, so 188, I would have started at 187.50, and then you're looking towards that 185-ish level. That's the levels that I would be looking for it to go. So right now you're talking about 186. We're just underneath that 187.50, but that amount of buying that we saw, I would expect it to pull back a little, definitely a bit more than it has so far. $1.50 for that much isn't really as much as it should. All right, guys, anything else out there that I missed? Nada. All right, guys, let's get ready for the morning. I will post all the information in probably the veteran traders spot for our on-site. And like I said, any questions on the on-site class, please either shoot me an email or just message me and or Paul. All right, guys, happy trading.